What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today I wanted to talk about all the different score streaks in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So, thanks to the fact that a bunch of people have like actual physical retail copies of the game, all kinds of information has been leaking over the past couple of days, one of which is the full list of multiplayer score streaks. So let's go through these things and see what we're going to be working with here in just a few days. So, starting off, the lowest one on the list is the aerial recon drone for 350 score, which is basically 3.5 kills. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this thing is. I haven't seen it in action. Based off the name, I would assume this is some sort of score streak that like flies around and you tag people with it. You know, it's like a recon drone, and so they you know, highlight enemies on the map for your teammates and things like that, and you probably get assists for when they kill them, but that's just a guess. Next up at 4 kills or 400 points is the UAV. We obviously know what that is. Next up, we've got the aerial assault drone for 450 scores. So I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I think this is kind of like a quad rotor. We might have seen it in yesterday's kind of like preview of the Atlas Gorge multiplayer maps, but I think what it does is you can fly it around and shoot enemies, but it's probably pretty weak. It's probably really easy to take out. Next up at 500 score, you've got the orbital care package. Obviously, we all know what a care package is. Next up, you've got the remote turret. So this is kind of like the sentry gun of this game, although it won't be a sentry gun unless you attach the sentry module to it. You know, as it is, you place it down and then you have to control it with this little like iPad thing that you pull up. So it's not something that you can place down and run away. It's just going to get destroyed right away. So I think it's kind of useless unless you're going to put the sentry, you know, system on it. Now, next up at 600 points, you've got system hack. So again, this is one of the ones that I don't know what it is. If I was to guess, it might be something that takes out, you know, all of the enemy team's score streaks, or system hack kind of sounds like maybe it's like an EMP type deal. Like maybe it messes with the exosuits or the mini maps. You know, I'm not sure what it's going to do. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, that's what you get for 600 points. Now, next up, you've got the XS1 Vulcan at 600 points. I've actually used this one when I've played the game. It's a lot of fun. So it's essentially like an airstrike that you control. So it sends you up into like this satellite thing, and you shoot down a giant laser beam, and then you can move that beam around on the map. And it only like once you choose to fire the beam, you only have like 4 or 5 seconds before the beam stops, so it really doesn't take very long. But if you can find a group of enemies on the map, you're going to be able to take them out, you know, pretty much instantly. It kills very, very quickly, so that thing's pretty good. Next up at 650, we've got the missile strike. I don't know if we've seen this. This makes me think of maybe, you know, some sort of plane that comes in and fires a missile, or maybe it's like a Predator missile, or, you know, I'm not sure what it's going to be, but that's at 650. Next up, 725, we've got the bombing run. We actually saw this in the Atlas Gorge gameplay. So that's where the A-10 Warthogs come in and drop down all sorts of bombs on the map, which sounds like a lot of fun. That looks like it'd be pretty powerful just based off the gameplay we saw yesterday. Next up at 775, we've got the XS1 Goliath. I've actually played with this one as well. So this is the big mech suit. You get into it, and you can fire your turrets, and then you've also, you know, if you put certain modules on, you can have, like, you know, homing rockets and things like that. It's really, really good. And then also you have the option to blow it up. So, like, when you're running low on health, you can self-destruct it and potentially take out a few enemies with that. But the only thing is when you call this thing in, it has to shoot down from the sky in a pod, and you have to run up to the pod, and you have to hold X or square to be able to, you know, get into it. And so while you're doing that, you can actually be shot and killed out of it. So like that really turns me off from this score streak. You know, it's something that if you work that hard, you essentially get, you know, nearly 8 kills in a row without dying, and then it can be stolen from you that easily. It's really, really sad, because anybody can run up to it and take it. So if an enemy kills you, they can take it, and that would just be heartbreaking. So I don't know how much I'm going to use that one, but it is fun to use. And then finally, the last two we have are the Warbird at 850 and the Paladin at 950. So I haven't had any experience with either of these. I think they're both like giant gunships that are up in the sky. And I think, you know, obviously the Warbird, since it's cheaper, is probably going to be one where it's just got, you know, like Gatling guns and stuff that you can shoot down kind of like a chopper gunner. And then maybe the Paladin is something more of like the Loki, where you have like, you know, you can shoot bullets, you can shoot rockets, you can shoot explosives, you know, things like that. I'm not exactly sure. That's just a guess. But yeah, those two, like I said, are at the very end, 850 and 950 points respectively. So So those are all the score streaks you can select in game. Then of course, as you guys know, there is the DNA bomb that everybody has on all the time. If you go on a 30 gun streak without dying, you'll earn the DNA bomb, which kills the entire enemy team and fills the map with a green mist for about a minute to a minute and a half. So yeah, there you guys have it. That is the full list of score streaks in Advanced Warfare multiplayer. Now you have to keep in mind, it doesn't sound like that long of a list right there, but each one of these score streaks has like 3 or 4 different modules that you can equip to it to essentially turn it into a different score streak. Like remote turret, it can also be a sentry gun that shoots lasers or shoots rockets or things like that. So it's really, it sounds like a pretty, small list, but in actuality, with all the different customization options you have, we've actually got quite a few score streaks in this game, which is really, really exciting because I think everybody loves, unlocking score streaks, and now that we have all this customization, it's going to give us a lot more to fight for and to go for when we're in multiplayer. So yeah, there you guys have it. Let me know what you guys think about this list. Which score streak setup are you guys going to be running with when you first pick up the game? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Got a bunch of great videos coming soon. Check out one of the other YouTube screens. Seen yet? I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.